What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another fitness video on my channel. You may be going, Brennan, why are you shirtless? Well, I'm shirtless actually a lot at my house, but that's actually not the reason I'm shirtless in this video. It's because I want to show you guys the range of motion for workouts, and it's easier to do if you can actually see the muscles a little easier than if I have a shirt on. And my tank top's in the other room and I didn't feel like getting up for it, so I just took my shirt off. Anywho, so I brought my handy dandy dumbbell. This is a 15-pounder. Yeah, you know, quite a catch. Anyway, I don't know, I'm being dumb. It's just kind of how I am. So, for instance, as I go off topic, with a muscle going through any kind of exercise, if you want to get the most bang for your buck, try to take that muscle through its entire range of motion. So, for instance, what does your bicep actually do? Well, it does a couple things, but the primary movement of your biceps is to bend your elbow or flex your elbow, right? See, my elbow went into flexion and now it's going to extension. Your tricep extends your elbow, right? So you can see tricep here. When I extend, ooh, it cracked. When I extend, my tricep engages. And then when I go the other direction, my tricep relaxes and my bicep engages. So if I'm doing a workout and I'm only going through a very small range of motion, I'm not going to be able to work out that muscle through its entire range then, because you only train as far as you move it. So your muscles have different attachments called origin and insertion points, basically where the muscle starts and then where it inserts on the other end, like basically cables on either end. So your bicep, you know, one of the attachments is up here and then another attachment is on your arm. I'm not going to get into the names of the actual attachment points. It's just more confusing than it needs to be. And I want to make this accessible to everyone. But basically, when you put a muscle into flexion, you're moving those attachment points towards each other. And then when you stretch the muscle or go into the eccentric phase, you're moving those attachment points away from each other. So to get the most, you want to train it through its full range of motion, right? The most bang for your buck. Now there can be specific circumstances, depending on how advanced you are in lifting, where you do half reps on purpose. I'm not getting into those as much right now. We're just starting, again, bare minimum. I want to work up with you guys, and then if there's specific questions you have and you want me to make videos on those, then I can do that at another time. But for biceps, for instance, if I take my handy dandy 15-pounder and I only curl to here, I'm not going to get as strong in that full range versus if I start all the way down. So again, the attachment points are as far away from each other as possible, and then I bring them as close together as I physically can. And then again, I let them go away from each other, and then I bring them as close together as I can. And again, same for triceps. So if I'm doing, tricep kickback here, and right now the attachment points are away from each other, but then as I put my arm behind me, they get closer. So your bicep and your tricep are opposites in their function. They're called antagonist muscles to each other, basically, because one flexes the elbow and one extends the elbow. So they do the opposite. Having them in balance, training them both is a great way to avoid injury, because if you only train one side of your body in any pairing, the other side can be weaker, or will be weaker if you never train it, and that can cause imbalances in your movement and lead to injuries. So like if you do legs and you work your quads, which is the top of your thigh, and then you never train hamstrings, which is the back of your thigh, that can lead to bad things where you can pull something easier because the muscles can't support each other in the way they should. So again, even with bench pressing or anything, so your chest, one of the movements for your chest, your pecs, your pectoralis major, again, there's different attachment points with the clavicle and the sternum, whatever. I'm not getting into that right now. But you move your arm basically into horizontal abduction or abductions. Two things. One, when I said horizontal abduction, I meant adduction with a D, not abduction. It's adduction. My brain, for some reason, I don't know, maybe it's because I talk backwards and do handstands too much, always gets those two mixed up, even though I know what I mean. So I just wanted to clear that up. Coming towards the midline is adduction. Going away from the midline is abduction. So when I was talking about chest, horizontal adduction. Also, second, look at my cat. She's cute. All right, back to the video. So basically bringing your arms towards midline. That's one of the things that your pec does, your pectoral muscles. So when you're benching, if you notice, the bar is fixed, right? You can move forward, which technically is bringing your arm a bit into that horizontal abduction. But there are ways you can get even closer if you take like the cable flies, you grab and you put a handle on and a handle on, and then you can go all the way across. You see how you can even see it's flexing more at the end here, because I'm getting a deeper range of motion with it. Whether I'm going from up here down, or maybe I set the machine so I go straight across and hold right here, or I cross. Sometimes I like to cross like a bear hug because then I feel like I'm getting a better contraction versus just stopping at my knuckles, because technically my chest could keep going, but my fist is in the way. So if I move them, I can get an even deeper range of motion. And then again, it's not about just the front portion, but how far back do I let it go? Obviously, the further back, I tend to be a little weaker. But if I have it a good enough or a proper weight distribution, I don't go crazy hard to impress my friends, but something I can do without straining my muscles in a bad way where it's going to tear, but just a challenge, getting good, clean reps in for that range of motion, then I'm more likely to work out more bang for my buck again. So that can be for whatever exercise you're doing. People with back squatting, oftentimes they'll cheat their back squat. My camera can't really capture me going to a deep squat, but let's just say, me squatting all the way, basically my butt to the floor almost, I leave frame, right? But if I'm just doing half squats, again, time and a place depending on your goal, but you're not getting that full range of motion for your muscles, right? If I just do these little half squats, it's not even as hard. So I would recommend for most people to go lighter weight and then go get that full range as far as you can go. I mean, maybe your flexibility or mobility is limiting you at the bottom range, and that's a video for another time. But assuming you have the ability to go full range with no weight all the way, down, then you should probably train that with weight all the way up and all the way down. And then again, as you get more advanced, maybe you're training half squats on purpose to be more like a jump, because when we jump, we don't usually go all the way to the floor and then jump. You just do a half jump. So that's getting into specifics. But I hope that this video makes sense, that you want to take a muscle through its full range to get more benefit out of the movement. Again, there's always exceptions to this, but whatever you're doing, like again, if I'm doing triceps, even behind the head, if I just go to here, I'm not getting my elbow fully extended, right? So I want to get my elbow full extension with that weight. My 15 pounder is on the chair, but you get what I mean. Or if I'm doing biceps, again, full extension. Or if I'm doing hammer curls, again, I don't want to just go to here. I want that full extension so I get strong through that full range of motion. So if you're like, I'm hitting the gym a lot and I'm being consistent, why am I not seeing the results that I want? Why are my muscles not getting bigger? Or why am I not strong? Holding the groceries is still difficult. Well, typically when you hold groceries, you're holding, here, right? Like 90 degrees. But if you only ever train your bicep curls to here, then the groceries are still going to be hard because you didn't develop your muscles in that 90-degree range. So hope that makes sense. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos, and hopefully these are helpful for you, because again, I'm doing them for you guys because I have fitness knowledge and it does better the more I share it, I think, to help others. I don't want to just apply it to myself and never, help people. I like helping people. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch you next time.